Are you frustrated with back pain and not sure what's helping and what's hurting?
Well, join us today as we reveal 7 of the most worst mistakes people make that actually make their back pain worse. Now, these are things that we've found out over the years working with patients and clinical experience. We're going to share them with you. And ready to go, Mike?
Yes. I didn't expect you to add that much.
First of all, we're going to cover what you can do with a pillow. And people are not using proper support or additional support for their back during a back pain flare-up.
So if you have a couch that is either worn out or very low in areas, oftentimes just using a little throw pillow in the worn out area can really help support that back. It keeps your pelvis and your low back in a better optimal position so you're not experiencing as much back pain. Now, if you're having back pain in a standard chair like this, a small pillow might not be enough. You can take a long pillow like that, place it vertically, and then you have support throughout your whole back. So give that a try, pick which works best for you, and it can help relieve some of the back pain you're experiencing.
That's right, and don't forget your vehicle. I have had extremely good success with using support on the back in your vehicle, particularly if you drive more than 20 minutes to and from work or wherever. All right, the next one is doing the wrong stretch for the specific condition your back has. We're going to give 2 common examples. The first one is if you have a disc problem and a very common stretch that should not be done. And the second one, hold on, Mike, get back up. The second one is going to be stenosis or spondylolisthesis, which I personally have both of those conditions. So again, the first one that Mike started and I interrupted him, go ahead.
It's typically when you flex your spine forward. If you have a herniated disc, this can make your problems be worse. You can do this in a long sitting position, a standing position. Am I stretching my hamstrings and my low back to a point? Yes. However, if you have a bulging disc, this is probably going to feel worse. So a good clue if a stretch is not right for you is you start doing the stretch or exercise and your back pain starts getting worse. Do not do it.
That's right. The next, well, maybe we should show, this is the long seated stretch, which essentially
Is the same thing.
does the same thing to the disc, so that's a problem. If we look at spondylolisthesis or stenosis, which with spondylolisthesis, stenosis often accompany each other, the stretches that you want to avoid are low back, lumbar extension. This is one way to extend or arch your back, not tolerated, typically makes it worse. This also, on the other hand, could be good for a disc problem. So they're almost the opposite. Actually, they are the opposite range of motion in regards to the low back. So doing this or stretching backwards like this, if you have spondylolisthesis or stenosis, is going to be a problem and get you worse.
So if you are unsure what your back pain diagnosis is, because maybe it's new back pain to you, experiment. If you notice flexing, bending over makes it worse, avoid those. If you notice extending makes it better, then go into that. Again, vice versa. Do what range of motion feels good for you.
That's right. One thing that makes it a little bit tricky is you also want to experience or note how the pain feels while you're doing the stretch. We should get positive improvements as well as after the stretch. How does it feel 5 or 10 minutes after you do the stretch? We want to have positive results in that regard as well. All right, the next thing you really need to be aware of is centralization or how pain feels in regards to the location. Now, if Mike has back pain here and it feels like it's covering his whole back, he does the exercise, but the pain, instead of feeling like the size of a volleyball, shrinks down to the size of a baseball, and it's more in one spot. That's called centralization. That is a good sign. Even if the pain gets a little worse, but it gets much smaller and more towards the center of the spine, that's good. That's one thing to be aware of, and it is critical. Another thing is if you're feeling pain out and it actually radiates or refers, we call that, down the leg, maybe past the knee into the foot. It can be any length in that area. Is if you do the exercise and all of a sudden the pain, it could be numbness or tingling in a disc problem, actually dissipates and goes away distal or further down the leg, and it actually seems to be moving up towards the buttock or towards the center or back. That, again, is centralizing. The pain is centralizing, this being the center where the back is. Anything that centralizes or bring that pain up that direction is a good sign. So you want to continue doing exercises that centralize the pain. Mike, you want to add on to that?
No, I think we go on to the next subject.
Yeah,
Brad.
I really babbled on the way fast.
You did.
Sorry about that. These next two approaches to resolving your back pain we've found recently from an expert physical therapist. He's written books on this. His name is Rick Olderman, and he's really got some light for our treatment of people as well as ourselves. You want to go through them, Mike?
Yeah, so the first one we're going to talk about is walking with your knees locked. So I'm going to stand up here and show what we mean. So a locked knee is a straight knee or even hyperextended like this. If I'm walking and planting my foot out in front of me with a locked out leg like this, the jarring force is going from my heel up to my leg and even into my low back. So this can make your back pain worse as you're walking. So to combat this, do not walk with a heel strike an extended knee like this. Try to walk with soft bent knees like this. You can do this by either kind of landing flat on your foot or on your forefoot more when you walk. This will take some getting used to. If you just want to try it, just do it in your house. Walk in slippers or barefoot if you feel comfortable, and that will show you, hey, when I'm walking like this, I don't have as much back pain compared to when I'm locking my knees out. So give it a try first and see if it helps.
One thing I really want to clarify is when you do this, you do not have to pull your pant leg up like this.
You can if you want to show off your legs.
No, it is a really nice. We've had people just say, wow, it feels so much better immediately when they go to that soft knee. That's what we call it, soft knee walking. The next one.
So mistake number 4 is not stretching your hip flexors. Now, if you have tight hip flexors, you'll need to stretch them. If you don't, this isn't as much of a problem. What we're talking about are the muscles in front of your hip. They flex your hip up like this. However, if they are tight, they can actually start to tilt your pelvis. Notice when I tilt my pelvis forward like this, I'm arching my low back more, and this can increase pain.
Right. Can we use a...
We can. Just don't hit me with it.
Bring that. Okay, get a good position. Normal, get that out of the way. There you go. Normal pelvis position here. We've got a level here. Now, have tight hip flexors and notice how the whole level of that pelvic region changes because of tight hip flexors. Show them a nice way to stretch it. And this is how Rick likes to do it. It's the best, not always the easiest, but it works really well.
Okay, so you're going to sit at the edge of a bed or a table if you can get on one. Make sure the edge is firm, though. You do not want to slide off. The further my buttock is to the edge, the more stretch I will feel. So what you're going to do is begin by lying on your back. And you're going to drop one leg down off the edge here. Once I bend it down, I'm going to start flexing my knee here. And it's important to bring the opposite leg up towards your chest. You'll notice once I do that, you can see a little bit of tightness in my hip flexor here. I'm going to just relax and breathe and try to go for 30 seconds. I also want to make sure my leg is straight. Do not let it veer out to the side like this. Once you do one side, reset your back for a few seconds, and do the opposite leg. There are many ways you can stretch your hip flexor. This is just the nice safe way because your back stays in a nice neutral position and often feels good.
Right. I like it also because you're allowing gravity to do the work of the stretch. In other words, Mike is going to be completely relaxed throughout his leg and pelvic region. He's locking his low back and pelvis here and just let gravity stretch. And you can actually bring your foot under this way to get an additional stretch on that rectus femoris, which is also a hip flexor, oftentimes neglected with other stretches. Sorry to babble on, Mike.
So you can do 2 to 3 sets on each side. If one side seems tighter, maybe give that side a little extra stretch.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, tip number 5 is not bracing your core correctly when doing activities involving your low back. So this can mean picking something up off the floor, getting in and out of bed, or in Bob's case, when he had some back pain, shoveling snow. If you're from the Midwest, you know what that's about. So what we want to do is engage your core with these activities. This is kind of like a superficial back brace of muscle holding your spine in place so it won't get it to move and cause pain. What you want to do to begin is oftentimes I will just put my fingers in the, not right on my belly button, but kind of out to the side, not way out to the side. I would say a 45-degree angle. And what you want to do is push out into it, I am engaging my core this way. Now my core is engaged, helping my back. If your back pain is more up and maybe not low, you can also try engaging the lats. So meaning I'm going to pull down and tight like this. This is locked in, my pecs are engaged, my low back, and you can engage your core. So essentially you're doing a muscle contraction using your core to save your spine.
That's right. So it's really important. It's kind of like using the back belt, but you're using your back belt built in. Just do it properly. A lot of people don't think about that. So when Bob was doing his shoveling, he was doing this and doing a lot of twisting, not engaging his core. So he shifted to tightening up here and here while we're actually doing the work, whether it's shoveling, getting out of bed, lock it in, and don't have the twist. Move your body with it and your feet. It's kind of like you're dancing with your shovel.
You're not going to shovel very much dough with that.
No, well, there's no wind on here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's go on. All right, the next scenario is a common thing that you can kind of irritate your back every time throughout the day, simply getting out of a chair wrong. Mike is going to demonstrate the wrong and the right way.
So this will depend upon your back issue again, like we mentioned earlier, whether it's stenosis or a disc bulge issue. So the first one is flexing forward like this and then standing up. If I have a disc bulge, this is not going to feel very good because again, we're getting in that rounded forward posture, causing more irritation, and then trying to stand up. So a good solution for that is to scoot your butt to the edge, try to have a nice upright posture, and make sure to use your hands to push up, keeping a straight and level back. Now, if you're someone with stenosis and it actually feels better to bend forward a little bit, that's fine. Figure out which position feels optimal for your back when standing up.
And this is actually a really good time to engage the core, tightening the core as well.
And it's also important when you're doing this, have a nice wide base of support at the edge. And if you're sitting down, try to control it because oftentimes that jarring effect is not going to feel good on your spine.
That hurts just watching that. Okay, well, let's go on to the next one. Number 7.
And the final mistake is not lifting something correctly off the floor. Oftentimes when we're not thinking about it, we just reach down, again, notice the curvature of my spine, and then we lift up, and then it hurts even more because I bent down and I'm lifting something. Depending upon the weight, it can really make it worse. So what we want to do is try to keep a nice neutral spine when we're going down. There's variations of this, so we'll show a few options. So what I want to do is keep a nice straight back as I'm bending down. If Brad puts that booyah stick on my back here, you can see it's touching the back of my head, my shoulder blades, and then my low back region. As I'm going down, try to keep this position as well as you can. If you start rounding like this is going to cause some problems. Now, some people are not going to be able to keep a straight back. You're probably going to have to start bending your knees. If I try to keep a straight back, I get stuck here. So it's good to use your legs when you're picking something up off the ground. If you do not feel comfortable doing this, Brad, you want to show another option?
Sure. You can do what we call the golfer's lift. The only thing, it has to be a light object, which you should be lifting light anyways if you've got a back problem. So I'm going to actually kick this leg out, one hand for balance. Probably will need that out, and then pick up the object. Again, it's got to be a light object you can do with one hand, and it works really well.
And a final option, if your legs and knees are feeling good, you can simply hold on to something if you want, but you can kind of just do a little lunge, go down, and then come back up. That may just be easier for some people. Again, try to maintain a nice spine with this. Don't get rounded forward because you certainly can.
That's right. All right, we have another favorite Bob and Brad massage gun. We have the Uni Massage Gun. Julie's holding it up, showing it, and she's going to actually use it on her arm. Go ahead and put some pressure on that, Julie. These are really strong guns. The stall force is 35 pounds. It's not good for a real, like a linebacker on a football team, but for someone like Julie or myself, it's all you really need. 10 millimeters of travel on the head, which is good, nice, deep massage with that. It does come with 5 massage heads, the nice round one, the soft one that Julie has, as well as the other ones that all work out extremely well. It weighs 1.26 pounds. It's very light. How you doing, Julie?
Yeah.
Feels great, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And the cost on this, it's a great intro one, $56. Now, that may vary depending on what site you're on, but that's a ballpark figure. All right, if you go to bobandbrad.com, go to the product sections and look for the Uni if you would like to have this gun. All right, what do you say, Julie?
Yeah. Get one.
Wonderful. All right, very good options, Mike. What do we got next?
That's all of them.
Whoa, number 7. You can't go wrong with the number 7. So all of these, now you may find that only 2 or 3 of these will really affect your back and make it feel better. That's the goal. Go through all of them in detail with us and enjoy the day. We got one more video that can be helpful, right, Mike?
Yes, if you want to check out more video on back pain, this one actually has exercises and stretches you can do if you're having chronic low back pain.
There you go. Good video. Nice ball, too.
Thanks.
Bob and Brad, the 2 most famous physical therapists on the internet.